So, Chip, Snakes and Ladders. We are finally here. And this is kind of how I'm going to go with this intro. Chip, with this mixtape, is a jack of all trades, but only a master of one. He has that one thing that he does really well and has always been known for, but that's the only thing he really offers that's truly original on this tape, despite tackling however many different genres. So, this is my review of Chip, Snakes and Ladders. So, Chip Diddy Chip, Chipmunk needs no introduction, I really don't think. But we're going to start off with a disclaimer. Now, a lot of people had a big go at Six Pad because apparently, according to some Chip fans, this is a conceptual album. I'm going to reiterate this is not a conceptual album. This is a mixtape. And even then, it is a compilation of songs. It is songs that he's kind of put together to say, hey, I can do X amount of genres. But in terms of how the whole thing flows, sure, the track listing works because some of the songs that are put together are sonically close to each other, so it drifts you from one set of genres to the other. I understand that making sense. But in terms of the song concepts themselves, how the whole album has a concept in of itself, it is definitely not a conceptual album. That is not what Chip delivered to you. I'm sorry, but if that's what you think it was, you got scammed. So before I get into this review, like and subscribe if you like any of the stuff I do on this channel. Yet again, link in the description for the Reloaded playlist that I run with Alex Baz, aka Mr. Reloaded. If you want any of your music submitted or want to have a look at your music and see if we can get it on the playlist, please DM me on either Twitter or Instagram in the banner above. If you just want a really cool UK music playlist to listen to and get an idea of my taste in music and Alex Baz's, hit the link in the description and check out and follow this playlist on Spotify. So I think the intro actually started off pretty strong. I feel like for this particular intro, I feel like this isn't just a beat that a producer sent into his mailbox and he decided, yeah, I'm gonna spit on it. I feel like this is something that was crafted for him, which it really shows how the beat kind of wraps around his voice at quite a few places, and I think that really works for Chip. In terms of flows, that's always been where one of Chip's strong points has been, and in terms of bars, he doesn't necessarily pull his punches on this one either. The bar, men lie, women lie, so do numbers, but you can count on me to go in. Then man must be working with Juju, I don't care where you charted your shit. I feel like the hubris of Chip really comes through, and I think it really works with the song, and I really like what he did with that. I feel like that line is one that really stood out to me, and in terms of that bouncy flow he's got going on with it, I really like this intro. Now, the trap that Chip falls into for a lot of the songs where he's kind of very bar intensive is that he has a lot of songs and a lot of verses where he's just rapping about how sick he is at rapping, and everyone just hates that trope now. It's so dead. No one likes bars talking about how sick you are at barring, and there's too many songs where this is kind of the focus for Chip, and it's like, okay, we get it, you're a good lyricist and that is your USP, but you just being lyrical about how good of a lyricist you are, it's just really tired and kind of annoying. Songs like Allow It, Killer MC, Ignite, 100K, I feel like very much just falls into that trap with a lot of Chip's contributions and verses on that. I have no idea what the hell Mostak is doing on 100K. I don't even know why he needs to be on the song. I feel like lyrically they're not even goddamn close to each other, not in the same weight class. So it just feels like, hey, let's just get Mostak along for the ride. I don't get that collaboration. I don't understand why it's there, because Chip wants to bowl out of his mind on that song and he needs someone who can keep up. And I feel like Mostak is just there like, you could give a half decent hook / intro to the track, maybe, kind of, but even then it's like, why? The problem with this tape is that Chip delivers a lot of different stuff on different genres, but does he really deliver if he doesn't really bring anything that original to the table? And with the songs with collaborations on them, he's never the highlight of any of those songs, for the most part. Take See Through with Kid Cuds, for example. The problem with that song is that Kid Cuds delivers really well as always with a sort of Afrobeat, Afro bashment type song. But the thing is, if I'm going to listen to that genre, I'd rather just listen to Kid Cuds without Chip. I don't know why he loves doing it on that Jamaican accent. It doesn't work that great for him. And even then, he doesn't really offer anything that's truly original to the song that I couldn't get that was better out of loads of other Afrobeat / Afro bashment artists. So why did this song need to happen? I don't know. Give Tanks is another one where I feel is the same problem. That Jamaican accent generally just irks me. And even then, there are plenty of other dancehall artists that I think that operate in the UK that could have murdered that song better than Chip ever could. So it's like, if you're not really offering anything particularly original and it just feels awkward and forced, even though he's done it before, and I still hated it when he did it before, because it's just like, why? Why would you do it? I mean, J-Kaz and D-Live could have murdered that song. They could have torn that song to shreds. But I don't know. I understand he wants to try and prove he can do all these different things, but can you really do these different things if you're not really offering anything original to the genre? You can sound decent, but does that really mean versatile? I could go and do an R&B song. I could make it sound listenable. I could do so many out of the different genres and make it sound listenable, but does that necessarily mean I'm versatile? If I just dip my toe into so many different genres and offer something that is somewhat acceptable but not of any particular interesting or unique standard in any of those genres, does that mean I'm versatile? That might be a debate for a different day, but it's certainly relevant when discussing this tape. Party a Keep could have been a banger if Chip wasn't on the song giving the hook, because Hailey smashes it out of the park, Stylo G gives a great hook, this beat is sick. I don't need Chip doing a bad Jamaican accent on a hook. I don't need it. I just don't need it. Even the song structure is pretty damn good of them bouncing off each other, kind of interjecting and kind of following off the back of each other's bars, that sort of thing in the trio. But anyone but Chip. Give me an actual dance song. Give me J-Kaz. Swap out Chip for J-Kaz and that is a banger. That song slaps. But Chip just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. Hailey smashes it out the park. I've literally replayed his verse about 5 times on first listen. Just on first listen, I probably replayed that verse about 5 times, and even now, I slap that song on just to listen to Hailey's verse again. Yes, Chip's hook gets skipped every single goddamn time. So this sort of strategy from Chip, where he just decides, I'm gonna dip my toe into every single genre and see how it's gonna go, it has been misses, but there have been hits on here too. And Eskimo Dance, that song is disgusting. I think Eskimo Dance as a song is magical, and I think that's actually the best song on the entire thing. I do like kind of, I don't really know how to explain the beat. Is it kind of garage grime crossover? I kind of think that's what I want to call it. Not quite sure though. That hook from Park Ingle fucking blew my mind. I mean, it's really catchy. Vocally, he's great. It really suits everything that's going on with the theme. And these are the bars where I liked what Chip was doing here in terms of the bars. I think it suits the song. It's a feel-good vibe, but he still has the punchlines and the lyricism and the flows that you love Chip for. I think this song is the perfect balance, and if you gave me more of this, I would have liked it more. That T2 Heartbroken sample on Grown Flex with Bugsy Malone is brilliant, and I think Chip may have found a new calling, because apparently on Garage, Chip is just brilliant. I don't really get it. And even then, I didn't really think that Chip and Bugsy Malone to bounce off each other as well as they did on the song. But it really works as a collab. The two of them should have stopped beefing time ago, because, hey, you guys could have made some hits. I mean, shit, why'd you wait this long? 0420 is another one where I actually think Chip does really well. I feel like on a Rick Ross type rap beat, which is what I feel like this is, Chip does really well. He emotes, he puts his heart on his sleeve, he tells you a bit more about his life experiences and what's going on with him, how he felt at particular times in his life. For example, when Black the Ripper passed away, in terms of the grief he must have felt. And that sort of a thing, I feel like I like when Chip does that sort of thing. And I think it really works for him on this song, and this is one where I have been listening back to it quite a lot simply because I really do like the emotion that he displays. However, when I thought that last year was going to be the years of bad collabs and we were going to put all that behind us, nope, you had to just bring us the shit that you came with us. I really love Young M.A. I love Young M.A., but she has no place on Liberty. Does not need to be there. Literally pointless. I don't even know why you even put that out as a single to be the front line of the tape when Eskimo Dance is fucking sick. That song bangs. That should have been the single you used to push the tape. Rather than Lumidi, where it's like, it just feels so awkward having Chip and Young M.A. together. Young M.A. on that sort of tempo. It doesn't really feel like she wants to rap with that sort of flow. When you look at the stuff that she's traditionally on, it's more that kind of New York boom bap rap sort of vibe, and that's where she feels more comfortable and it makes more sense of her being on there. And in terms of this, it doesn't really work. She's forced to use a bit more of a skippier flow, which just isn't really her bag. And in terms of the theme, it somewhat fits. Lyrically, she's discussing the right things that fit with the song concept, but it kind of just irks me. I feel like with this one, I don't have as much of a logical argument as to why I hate it. It's more of a thing where it just doesn't feel good to listen to. And I know that's a really shitty explanation, but it's all I got for this one. Heady One and Chip, two streaming giants, and this is a collab I never thought of. And it's also a collab I never fucking want to hear in my entire life. Good lord, this song was lifeless. I don't know, there was just no energy there. There was nothing really there. I feel like Heady One was just kind of half-assing his verse. Chip just couldn't really get into a groove to make this one interesting. I don't know what the hell was going on and why they thought this would be a good idea. I get you both stream really well and you're both huge, but some collaborations just aren't meant to happen. Please just live with it. I think maybe why I found this one so boring is maybe because the beat is kind of boring, and even in tone, it means that the rappers just sound really dreary because of the beat. It's literally a kick and a snare and a vocal sample, where the vocal sample is really low with a couple synths thrown in. That's literally the beat, and it's like, this is boring. It's just really boring. Hershey's is another one of those songs that never should have left anyone's laptop. It never should have seen the light of day. Dirt Bike was vocally appalling on this song. That flow from Ads and Chip that they both kind of share and try and go back to back on and complement each other, it doesn't work with the beat. It doesn't work. This is another collab that should have never happened. And even then, it goes back to a lot of my critiques of Insomnia, where sometimes the interactions, they just don't complement each other as artists in terms of their flows and what they want to rap about. So why? And even then, Chip's singing isn't great here in terms of the whole melodic rap vibe. He has that dotted around a couple times in this thing, and yet again, it's very hit and miss. I feel like everyone and their dad has done a reaction or a review of the diss track, so I'm not going to. I feel like they did their job, it helped promote the tape, it helped push him into the charts. It did what it was supposed to do, congratulations. Overall, I'm gonna go C-. I think C-. I feel like this tape, top to bottom, it's difficult to enjoy, but not impossible to enjoy. I feel like if your standards are lower, you'll enjoy the whole thing. If your standards are even ever so slightly high and you care about originality even a little bit, there's some songs that you will just skip. Simply because it's like, I don't necessarily come to Chip if I want to hear this sort of thing, because I'm like, there's X amount of artists that do it better. I mean, the Afrobeat songs, if you're an Afrobeat fan or Afro Bashment fan, if you heard those songs, you'd think Chip isn't doing anything that great, because you being a fan of the genre, you have higher standards of the music that you expect from that genre, and Chip doesn't deliver it. And that's what happens with a lot of the other genres he chooses to try and tackle on this tape. But when it does go really well, it goes pretty damn well, and it gives you some songs that I think are musically interesting, he emotes pretty well, and in terms of the bars, he's still barring as much as he always is, which is why I didn't put him in my D category, because you could always enjoy Chip just rapping and just being very good at that as an art form and as a skill of being a good rapper and lyricist. So, thank you for watching. If you like anything that I do on this channel, like and subscribe as per usual. Follow the Reload It playlist if you want an idea of my taste in music alongside Alex Baz, Mr. Reload It. If you think I'm chatting shit, if you think that Chip actually dropped the greatest mixtape of the year potentially, I really highly doubt that anyone is going to defend this hard, but oh well. Let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to debate with whoever and whenever. I'm always kind of lurking around in the comments. The next one that will be dropping after this is the new Fredo. Gets dropping towards the end of the week, but I do have a couple other ones that I want to kind of sprinkle in before I drop the Gets one, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Thanks. Bye.